Hello, hello. We are back with another episode. And following on from the theme of last week, I'm going with a completely off the cuff one here. No notes, haven't thought about it. It was just something that came up with a client check-in. I thought, oh, I can talk about that for a little minute. Um, so yeah, there might be a few more pauses and thinking time within this one, but I'm just going to roll with it and see what comes out. And like I said, in the spirit of last week, we're just going to stick with it. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay because so much progress can happen when you let go of the idea that something has to be good or great or perfect and just roll with the best I could do given the situation. So without further ado, this is something that I feel is the most important or most effective tool you can use for weight loss. Now, people spend hours looking for like low calorie recipes, little hacks, little tricks. But I think this is something that is so much more effective and it's so much more within your control. And the topic is planning your meals. Now, I want to distinguish from the start that this is not the same as a meal plan where you're just blindly following a laid out structure of meals that someone's given to you that you print off the internet, and then having to sort of force your life around. This is just the act of putting some thought into your meals. And there's so many different forms this can take. It could be as simple as just the night before, writing down on your phone a couple of meals you could have for the next day. It could be printing some recipes off the internet, or it could be the more thorough process that I do sort of lean towards with clients, which is where you just spend a few minutes, often on the weekend, where you just go through the week and think, what time commitments have I got? What meals would I like? How can I allocate these meals across the week? And then where would make most sense to cook given my time limitations and the meals that I am looking to create? How can I apply my time best? And the reason that I think this is so effective is because, let's be honest, you probably know enough to improve your diet. Like, gun to your head, if someone was like, you've got to eat better next week than you did last week, I'm sure you could find a few things here and there where you could make some changes. Now, I'm not really sure why that situation would ever arise. That would be a very niche criminal underworld. But you get my point. I just feel like the real breakdown comes where we just can't really turn those meals that we know we should be eating into practice. So it's very much an application problem rather than a knowledge problem. And for me, I believe that meal planning is the first step that bridges that gap. I feel like this is the thing that actually makes it happen. It actually means that you cook the foods that you know should be eaten, you eat the foods you know should be eaten. So I just really believe wholeheartedly it's the most effective thing you can do for your diet, both in terms of weight loss, but also just making things a lot more viable. Because, just for example, if you're not organized, if you don't know what you should be cooking, what you'd like plan to make that evening, if you get home late, if you're a bit tired, those convenience options like takeaways and Uber Eats are just so much more appealing. Whereas if you had explicitly written down what you were going to have that night, if the foods were already there in the fridge because you had kind of turned your meal plan into a bit of a shopping list and you had everything you needed, you're so much less likely to go for those other options. So that's something, again, that I talk about quite a lot with my clients, is where they do feel like they're always resorting to takeaways and things like that. They typically beat themselves up for being like weak and having shit willpower. And we can go down the whole like David Goggins, absolutely white knuckle it, force your way through things with grit and determination, or we can actually just be a bit smarter. And I think if you've got a system in place, that just takes away that temptation and just reduces the likelihood that you are going to go, oh, fuck it, I'll just get whatever, I'll just go with the convenience options. Beyond that, the time that you invest on the weekend or once or twice a week will save you so much time in the long run. How often do you open the fridge going, what am I going to have? 5 minutes later, you do the exact same. I reckon I can easily do that 3 or 4 times when I haven't got a plan of what I'm cooking. So I think there's also a big time return on investment with it. Equally, money, you're going to reduce the need for takeaways. You're not going to have as much food wastage because you're only buying the foods that you need, because you know exactly what you need to have in stock in order to make the meals that you plan to make. And I think it just saves all sorts of resources. So I really do frame it as an investment. I find it works so well with my clients, and often they can see dramatic improvements in weight loss, in energy levels, and reduce stress and time and effort on food just by spending a few minutes planning. So I would really encourage you to give it a little go. I have got a very thorough breakdown of, say, that's a bit lie. It's like a 5-6 minute breakdown of exactly how I would plan a meal, plan a week's meals, and it's got a working example. And then I also have a blank template that you can fill in and print off, put on the fridge, however floats your boat. If you would like a copy of either of those, just message me the word planner on Instagram. It's at peak.nutrition.coaching. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? So yeah, hit me up on there if you'd like either of those options. And outside of that, I hope you have a good week, and I will speak to you soon. See you later.